Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Angela, and I'm just going to get right into this video. This is a continuation of my video, which should be being uploaded today, about items that I have placed on my vision board. And are they still relevant to me? And what they mean to me, why I placed them there. They weren't just things that I randomly picked. Not all of them, but how I feel about them. My first one was about marriage and getting married, and how life has kind of left a sour taste in my mouth towards that one. But I would put it on my vision board every year. The video probably sounds like I'm doubting that it's possible, but I think I'm at a doubting phase when it comes to that. So we'll go into my next thing on my vision board, and that word is faith. So tell you a little bit about my faith and my relationship with God. And yes, it is still relevant to me today. It is something that I still lean on God for, is faith. When I don't understand something, or I'm going through something, and I'm going to give some story times regarding faith and how you have to trust God. Like, you just really just have to trust him. So I grew up in a Christian home. Didn't go to church a lot. My father, a little background about my father, he was a reverend. But he was also married. And my mom married him too. So then that makes him a bigamist. But she got it annulled or whatever once she found out that he was married. She had me. He didn't come around in my life because my mother eventually got remarried to a man that was not married. And if you hear my dog barking in the back, I'll have to say this. He is not a crate lover. He does not love being in the crate. And anytime I kick him out of my room and place him in his crate, he's going to bark. So I might have thousands upon thousands of videos, and he's going to bark because he thinks my room's his room. So let me put that disclaimer there. So I grew up Baptist. My grandfather was a Baptist minister down south. I never got to hear him preach in his day. I think he passed away when I was probably about 12 or 13. But I grew up with a faith, a knowing of God, even though I might not have been in church all the time. Because if you're like most Black families, you go to church for funerals or every blue moon, and that was the kind of family that I grew up in. But as I got older and went through life, I had to develop a personal relationship on my own with Jesus. And so I went. I was dedicated in going. And be honest, I'm a church hopper. I've hopped around to different churches because of church hurt and feeling offended. I got baptized in a Seventh-day Adventist church. Later in life, I think I might have been 35, 40, somewhere in that range. I was in that range when I got baptized for the first time ever in my life. I left that church because the incident happened went out of town to one of their conventions, and God speaks to me and I listen. And in addition to that, I didn't agree with the Helen White thing. Like, I'm one of those people, that's just me, where you only preach the Bible to me. We ain't gonna bring the dictionary, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson. We ain't gonna bring nobody else into my faith but Jesus. Like, that's it. I only want to hear the word of God. I don't want to hear about, if it hadn't have been for this person bringing the gospel to such a, I don't want to hear that. Because if it had not been for the Lord, we wouldn't be here today, and the Bible would not have been written. So that's my faith. That's just how it may be one-sided, but I don't want to hear about nobody else but Jesus. And so that's my faith. And so I go to church, not faithfully. I try and go a little more now in the current church that I'm in. I left my last church because I just felt like an outsider. And it was Pentecostal. I really did. I hate you're speaking to people ain't speaking to you, or people asking you about other people, but they not asking how you doing. Like, am I not human? Do I not feel? Do I not hurt? So those and I'm that kind of person. Like, I'll ask somebody, oh, how you doing today? Blah, blah, blah. But when it's not reciprocated, I can handle it to a point. But after a while, you be like, is it me being rejected? And that's something that I struggle with, is rejection. So, and so I left. I just felt there was nothing in the church there for me. That's the way I felt. And I wasn't feeling truly the presence of God. And that's all on me. I can blame that on me for maybe lackluster attendance. And so now I'm in a church where I feel a little more welcome, a little more accepted. People are friendly. People are speaking. As my bishop said, he wants people to be missional. Is it missional? I think it was missional, where you are out, not necessarily winning souls, but you are greeting people, being warm, being welcome, being loving, being the way Christ would want you to be, not being judgmental, not being stuck up and bougie and those kind of things. And so I feel a little bit more at home and at peace. And so that's my faith in a nutshell. But the enemy does, on a regular basis, this is a regular fight that I face. And I'll just do this little story time. So I work on a ministry, a nursing ministry in the church. And I initially started helping out on the 2nd and the 5th. And you know, there's not a lot of 5th Sundays, but a 2nd and 5th Sundays. And then there was people on that one. And so I was asked by the pastor to come on the 1st and the 3rd. And so I said, okay, 1st and 3rd, because I had prayed to God and left my second job and said, well, if I can't, I'd rather be off on the weekends anyway. And so I wasn't doing nothing. So I was okay. I was happy to change to come to the 1st and the 2nd, or 1st and the 3rd. And I've been working now 3 first Sundays. Not really working, but bringing stuff for people to eat that take medication and they haven't eaten breakfast, the cardinal sin. Because if you're taking medication, this is a nursing thing. If you're taking medication, you haven't put anything on your stomach, then you come into church. That's not a great thing. And so my first Sunday, the person that is over it, and it was not the pastor, was like, "Oh, you're here." And I was like, "Yeah," and I explained how I got to the first Sunday. And they was like, "Oh, okay, we need somebody on the first Sunday." And so in my mind, I was like, "Oh, okay, now I'm going against what the pastor asked me to do, and I'm just going to come on the first Sunday." So I came on the first Sunday. No problem, no big thing. I didn't have a problem with it. First Sunday, fine, just one and done. And then the second first Sunday. So this started in December. And so then this first Sunday was in January. So then once again, I could bring my treats and stuff for people to eat. And then it was, "Oh, you're here. I didn't know you were going to be here. Has your number changed?" Now, nobody has called me and saying, "Oh, I'm going to bring something," or "You don't have to bring anything. I'm going to do it this time." Nobody said anything. Nobody. And my number has not changed in like 20 years. So I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do the first Sunday." And they was like, "Oh, the first and the third?" And I was like, "No, I'm gonna do the first." Because when I said I was gonna do the first and the third, it was made for me to think that you didn't need nobody on the third. So now I'm gonna do the first. And I got the feeling like I wasn't needed on the first, but they didn't say anything. But then here goes today, the first Sunday in March. No, so the last one was February, and then the first one was January. Now here's the first one in March. "Oh, you're here?" Once again, yes, I'm here. No one else is here. "Oh, I need to be informed." And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, how many first Sundays are there in a month? And we had this discussion on 2 different Sundays that I was going to come on the first Sunday. Plus, there's nobody here. And I'm here to help and to serve. And I put my little stuff out and whatever, and I just was like, now I starting to feel a certain way. And I was like, well, I might have to quit, because every Sunday I come and I bring the stuff that's required or of me to bring. But now I'm feeling like nobody wants, or this particular person does not want me to be there on the first Sunday. And so then they said, "Oh, are you able to do the first and the third Sunday, or just the first?" Now this conversation been done, been said, been had. And I'm one of those people, I can't keep going back and forth. We did this, we had this discussion. It's over, period. So I started thinking, I said, I don't want this to go into April, and every time that I come, it's a shock that I'm there. It's a shock that I brought food to eat or whatever. I don't need that. I don't personally need it. And so I know the next month I don't plan on being there. Matter of fact, I really don't now. I'm so uncomfortable helping out. And it's almost like the enemy, is like, oh, well, I'm going to find a reason for her to not feel welcome and to feel rejected, because that's a faith struggle, because it's like, why am I feeling like this? Or why does this keep happening with this same person over and over again? And this is church hurt, because it's like, here somebody is willing to help, is helping, is serving, because I'm not really serving man so much as I'm doing it unto God. And now I'm being, not persecuted isn't the word, but now I'm being almost hindered from helping. And so my lips are so dry, and they look dry on here. And so those are things that discourage you in your faith walk at any age, because you're like, I'm just doing something out the kindness of my heart. I'm not doing it for promotion or for glamour or fame or praise or any of those things. I'm just doing it because I wanted to serve in the church. And now I'm trying to serve, and the enemy is blocking me from serving. And so for me, when I get blocked, then I'll just stop altogether, because it's better to have peace than to have obstacles in your way. Because how many Sundays can you tolerate? Just imagine if I was doing it first and third, and every time I would come first and third Sunday, I would always be met by this, oh, you're here. Because I'm one of those people, I try never to be late. I'm always on time. You're never going to have to question, am I coming? Like Cat Williams. They know I'm coming. I said I was coming. I'm like clockwork. But to have someone question it, or to act as though they don't want you there. And then I went inside church, and then God must have been talking to them. And so then they turned around and they was like, oh, I want to thank you for coming. And so what God had told me the first time that I seen this person is that I've worked with them in some capacity in my nursing career. Maybe not a bad way, but just I've seen their face. Their face is really familiar. I can't remember their name or where I might have seen them, but I know them. That's what the Spirit told me at first. But I didn't pay it no attention, and I wasn't going to be like, do I know you from somewhere? But I do know that the enemy tries, whatever your struggle is, and in this case, mine being rejection, this is what the enemy will do. And if I don't show up the first Sunday, he has succeeded in his plan of rejection, because it's like, what if I'm volunteering for years and years and years, and every time I come, I'm met with this opposition, as to say, oh, you're here. And so that's why I say faith, my word, faith is an important thing in my life, and it is still relevant. It will always be relevant. to the day that I go home to be with the Lord. Because it's easy to lose your faith. People sometimes, and people in the church, will have you lose your faith, and then you'll be like, well, you know what, I don't even want to be bothered anymore. I don't have time. Just let me just move on, and you can have this. Because I'm that kind of person, not passive aggressive, but I'm like, oh, you can have this. I'll find some other ministry where they'll be more than welcome to have someone show up. Because a lot of times in churches, people don't show up. And so then when you have somebody that shows up and then you mistreat them once they've shown up, that's what church hurt is. And that is why you must always have faith. Always, always, always have faith. So that's my little story time, and associating it with faith, because God is faithful. Man, not so much, but God is faithful. And we have to place all our trust in him. All of our cares, all of our everything that we go through in life, we have to place it on him. And that's all that I can say on faith. Hopefully it's infused in my veins. Hopefully I won't get too discouraged, because I feel like it'll keep, to be honest, I just feel like it'll keep happening. And so if it's going to keep happening, I have to somehow break it. Maybe not stop serving on the nursing ministry, but stop being available, stop being reliable, stop being there, I guess. And so that's it for that video. I'll probably record another video, so you'll be seeing me wearing the same clothes, because I want to get most of the things on my vision board covered so that I can really focus on the things that are on my vision board. So my faith does not change. My first video, marriage and getting married, still a goal, still a dream, but I look at it through different lenses. And a little bit about that is that I don't have faith in. Not that I don't have faith in God, but I know that the Bible says a man that finds a wife. He does not say a woman that finds a husband. Nowhere. I didn't search the scriptures, and it's nowhere in there. So please like, subscribe, comment, even tell me your experiences with faith, in church, in life, because you have to take your faith with you to work, home, church, to the grocery store, to Target, everywhere. Your faith must come with you. It's got to be in your back pocket, in your purse. It's got to be surrounding you everywhere you go. So have a great evening, a great day. Bye-bye.